Good afternoon. Today we're going to be looking at the performance of an RTX 3060 in Spider-Man Remastered. From what I've noticed, this game is like super well optimized. It does a really good job at taking advantage of not only newer hardware but older hardware. So let's look at tech power up right here. As you can see, we have the RTX 3060, 12 gigs of VRAM. I am using the Intel i7-10700F with a MSI no, I'm sorry, no, not B460Z. Z498 Pro motherboard. I do have the power limits unlocked. I don't think that's going to have much of an effect on any of the results today, but something just to note. So I'm going to be looking at the 1080p data as well as the 1440p data. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to start off with 1080p medium. Let's go ahead and look at the settings real quick. Alright, so as you can see, it's 1920 by 1080. I turned off VSync just to see if I can break my 165 hertz monitor barrier at 1080p. We're at the medium preset right now, so let's see how the performance goes. As you can see, we're like in the low 100s at the moment. Just gonna do some swinging around. Woo. I'm not going to lie, I'm absolutely having a blast with this game. It's been fantastic. This is certainly, I think at 1080p medium you could probably get a decent high refresh rate experience out of it. I am using the NVIDIA built-in recorder, so there's a very small performance loss, but it's nothing significant. And I apologize if you can hear my birds in the background, but it's early in the morning and they tend to chirp a lot early in the morning when the sun comes up. As you can see, our GPU usage is not maxed out. So I strongly believe right now I'm running into a CPU bottleneck on my 10700F. So let's go ahead and turn this up a little bit. I think I can speak from experience, I can definitely go much higher in the settings. So let's go, we can just try the high preset. I do love that you can like in real time switch settings. I love games that allow that. So you can just switch back and forth. So as you can see, we're getting almost identical performance. So it looks like we're definitely hitting a CPU bottleneck because I'm still sitting about 70% GPU usage at the moment. So if you have a faster CPU than I have, you could definitely get more out of this. Let's get up on top of here and see if we can get a view of the city. Whee! I do have a blast with this game. The reflections look great, even at high at 1080p.
Civilians need help at the scene of a car accident. Available officers report to Turtle Bay. Over.
Alright, I think it's time to crank it up a little bit. See right here, we're in the 130s. Alright, let's go to very high settings. And we are not using ray tracing at the moment, but we'll try that after this. Alright. This is a bad example, running up the wall. Here we go, we got a decent view of the city, and once again, we're running into a CPU bottleneck. So this is with an 8-core, 16-thread CPU too. I mean, it is 10th generation, but still a very solid gaming CPU. If you have something like a Ryzen 5800X 3D, you'll definitely be getting more frames than this with this graphics card. I have to say, PlayStation did a great job porting this game.
I'll have to find more towers to boot up.
I think we should give some ray tracing a try now. Okay. Oh, there it is. Alright, so let's turn some ray tracing on. So we're going to do 1080p very high settings with ray tracing on. With ray tracing high reflections. Let's see what kind of loss we get. Okay. So 40s to 50s. If you have a variable refresh rate monitor, this could be a relatively smooth experience. I'm not using any upscaling right now. This is native 1080p. And once again, the GPU is not being maxed out. So that is interesting. Now, I don't normally play in 1080p as I have a 1440p monitor. So I haven't really seen what it's like. Let's look at some of these reflections of the cars.
Planting a bomb. Officers needed in Koreatown.
I think he's Don't mind me.
Okay, cool. Ray tracing does look great in this game, I will say that, that's for sure. Once again, we are not running into a GPU bottleneck. Alright, time to hit it up to 1440p. Let's see. Display. So then we'll switch this over. Let's go 1440p medium, no ray tracing. Alright. Okay. So now we're getting a little bit more. Wait, did that actually change? I can't tell. It looks pretty similar, actually. Hold on. No, I did not change it. Okay. Here we go right here. Now let's switch to 1440p. And here we are. Now, look at that. We're actually getting basically the same to more FPS because we're actually getting to utilize our GPU more. It's offloading some of the load to it. So this is 1440p medium, no ray tracing, and definitely looks noticeably sharper and honestly feels much smoother. I do have a variable refresh rate monitor, so I usually play with VSync on, but I turned it off for this test just to see what the most FPS I can get with my system. And I personally play at 1440p with very high settings, and I really have a great time. It's a very smooth experience. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip high and go directly to very high 1440p because this is the settings that I play with, and as you can see, very similar FPS, but now we're getting more GPU utilization, which is great. It's not maxed out 100%, so I could personally benefit from a little bit faster of a CPU.
Additional officers requested near Flatiron.
But overall, I really do have a really good experience in this game. And it's been a lot of fun. I was super excited when I heard that they were going to port this game. I think Sony's done a good job at porting their games over. This is definitely a fantastic experience at 1440p.
But my sources tell me the demons drugged the student, turning them into.
And yes, I could use DLSS or FSR 2.0, but I don't need to. And as far as ray tracing goes, so let's keep it very high. We'll do ray tracing. Very high might be a bit much. All right, here, ray tracing high.
Ladies and gentlemen, when we have to fear our own children.
Okay, so now we're dropping into the 50s, 40s.
Be vigilant. Be on guard. And keep a close eye on that barista with the
lighting does look pretty
or
good. You can notice the difference in the fidelity, for sure. I think the ray tracing implementation, they did a good job to not overdo it. Look at those reflections. Look at them!
Move it, spider jerk. Don't got time.
Wow. Okay, that's rude. But yeah, I think that's going to do it. I think we have a pretty good idea of how this game performs with the 3060. It's definitely a very well optimized game, and I've been having a blast with it. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe. Have a good day.